we are talking about the inflation. So what is called inflation? As we discussed already, inflation is nothing but increasing in the general price level. Based on the pressure of the inflation may be divided into different categories, like what is called creeping inflation, walking inflation, like running inflation, like hyperinflation and all. Okay, like at the same time, based on the causes for the inflation. Okay, it is based on the causes for the inflation. This inflation can be divided into different categories. So this is like what is known as the based on the causes for the inflation. Okay, causes for the inflation. Okay, this inflation divided into two types. So as I said already, one is what is known as the demand push inflation. Okay, demand push inflation, whereas the second one is called cost push inflation. Okay, cost push inflation. These are the two categories we can explain about when we are talking about the causes for the inflation. Okay, like here, whenever we are talking about this demand push inflation, okay, this demand push inflation or demand pull inflation. So this is known as demand push inflation, demand pull inflation. So in this particular aspect, what we can see, so in case of the demand push inflation, so in this particular cases, the prices are increasing. As already I told you, the prices are increasing or the prices are changing due to change in the demand. Okay, because of the demand only, the prices are changing. So in other words, we can say that due to increase in the aggregate demand, the prices are increasing. Okay, the prices are increasing. So as we are assuming that there is no impact of supply, there is no impact of supply in case of the demand push inflation. The supply may be constant, supply may be decreasing or increasing. So that impact is not there, but only if the prices are increasing due to change only in the aggregate demand level. So that's why this is known as the what is called a demand push inflation. Okay, we can say the demand is the causes to increase the price level. So in this particular case, we can say that demand push inflation. Here the demand is increasing, as I told you. So like the population increasing. Whenever the population is increasing, what will happen? If the population increases, automatically people will purchase more commodities. The demand will increase. If the demand increases, automatically, okay, the price may be increases. And as I said already, so it may be deficit budget or deficit financing. So in the deficit budget, the government is spending money, lot of money without income, without production. So whenever the government is spending lot of money in the name of the welfare, the people money supply is increasing. So because of the increase in the money supply, automatically, okay, the prices are increasing. And whenever the public expenditure, okay, public expenditure increasing, the demand will increase automatically. So whenever there is a more welfare mechanism, okay, because of this welfare mechanism, the aggregate demand may increases. So whenever RBI issues, okay, more currency, Okay, more currency. Whenever the RBI is increasing more currency, issuing the more currency, money supply will increase. If the money supply increases, automatically purchasing power will be increases. So at the same time, whenever RBI changing, that is, or we can say decreasing like bank rate. We will discuss about the bank rate and remaining everything later. Repo rate maybe, and cash reserve ratio, like SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. If all this type of the this actually it will come to the monetary policy, there we will discuss. So whenever this bank rate, repo rate, cash reserve ratio and SLR will decrease by the RBI, if these will decrease, yes, the money supply will increase. The commercial banks will create more credit. Because of the commercial banks are creating more credit, money supply will increase. If the money supply increases, automatically the demand may be increases in the country. So these are the some important reasons what we can say. Because of all these reasons, the supply may be constant or increasing or decreasing, may not be impacted on the supply, but because of the change in the demand, because of the change in aggregate demand, the prices are increasing. Okay, because of all these reasons, what is happening here? The prices are increasing. The demand is increasing, prices are increasing. That's why which is known as the demand push inflation, what we can say. Okay, after the demand push inflation, we can say the second category, what I told you, cost push inflation. Otherwise we can say supply pull inflation. Okay, supply pull inflation, or we can say cost push inflation. Okay, cost push inflation. So here it is opposite to the what is called demand push inflation. What we can say? Okay, demand push inflation. In these particular cases, okay, the demand may be constant. There is no impact on the demand. The demand is not at all impacting in the inflation. It may be constant, it may be decrease, or it may be increase, whatever it may be, but no impact on the inflation. But here, due to change in the supply of the production, the prices are changing. Otherwise, due to change in the production cost, the inflation may be changes. Again, there may be two reasons. Like one reason what we are saying, so one of the reason we are saying that here the prices may be increasing due to change in the supply. Okay, due to change in the supply, or cost of the production is increasing. So production cost is increasing. Production cost. What is the production cost? Can anyone give the explanation or definition? What may be the production cost? What is the meaning of the production cost?
The price is money spent to produce a certain product.
Price spent
To produce a certain product.
yes. So price spending or amount spending, money spending certain amount by the producer to for the production. So here, according to the economics, what are the things we are going to use for the production of any goods or services? What are the things we are going to use to produce any goods or services?
Labor.
Labor, yes.
Factors of production.
Huh?
Investment.
Okay, investment, that is called capital.
It's a land equal.
Land, yes, NLKO. Land, N nothing but natural resource nothing but land. And labor, and capital, and organization. All these things we are going to use for the production. Without these four, we are not going to produce anything. That's why whatever the amount we are spending on these four, that is equal to production cost. For the land, what we are paying in terms of the money? Rent. For the labor, we are paying in the name of the wages, salary. For the capital, we are paying interest. And for the organizer, we are paying in the name of the return, in the name of the profit. Okay, this 4 is equal to production cost. If these 4 are increasing in the country, okay, suppose if these 4 are increasing in the country, then automatically we can say that what is called the production cost is increasing in the country. So like rent, nothing but we can say, for example, raw material, natural resource, nothing but all the type of the raw materials we can they can available in the what is called natural resources. Okay, if the raw material cost is increasing, automatically what will happen? The production cost will increase. If the raw material cost will increase, automatically the production cost will increase. Okay, like if the wages are increasing for the laborers, okay, suppose wages are increasing, salaries are increasing. Whenever the salaries are increasing, whenever the these wages are increasing, automatically the production cost will increase. So if interest rate suppose increasing, interest rate is increasing, suppose, then here also we can say that what is called the production cost is going to be increases because of all this particular aspect. Okay, in the same way, if the producer want more profit, see, this is also in the part of the production cost. So whatever we are saying that may be also part of the production cost. What can we can see this one? Okay, that is also part of the production cost. So here this if the producers want more profit, okay, more profit, automatically what will happen? The production cost will increases. Okay, the production cost will be increases automatically. Suppose if the government is increasing the taxes, okay, taxes, that is what is known as the okay, taxes. It may be GST, it may be sales tax, okay, it may be excise tax. If the taxes will increase by the government, then only automatically the cost of the production will increase. Okay? So all this will come under the production cost, no? So if these things will increase in the country, then automatically what will happen? So automatically, so the what is called this production cost will increase. If the production cost will increase, automatically the prices will go up. If the prices will increase, that is called inflation. Here the inflation is there because of the increase in the production cost. That's why it is called cost push inflation. This is called supply side inflation. And sometimes suppose there are failure of what is called monsoon. monsoon. Tell me, if the monsoons are failure this year, what about the agriculture production?
So supply will decrease.
Huh?
So supply will decrease.
Okay, the production, say, if the monsoon will fail, there will not be much agriculture production. That means supply of the production of agriculture goods will decrease. If the supply of agriculture goods will decrease production, automatically their supply will decrease. If their supply will decrease, automatically the prices will increase. Okay, here the prices increase because supply decrease. Demand may be constant, but here because of the failure of the monsoon, the production decreased and supply decreased. Because of the decrease in the supply, what is called the price of this world increase. Okay, that is what we can see in these particular cases. This type of the things we can see. Like suppose the government is encouraging exports. Okay, the government is encouraging the exports. Then what will happen? Tell me. If the government is encouraging the exports, see, actually, what happened? We know that during this pandemic season, we came to know that so India is one of the major country who produced vaccine for this corona first time. Then what happened initially? Our government given the permission to export to other countries. Okay, because of permission given by the government permission to for the export to other countries, that vaccination was scarce. That is, supply was reduced in our country. Okay, that is what happened. Okay, that's why whenever if the government will encourage the exports to other countries, that time also the supply will decrease in the domestic within the country. Then also there is a chance to increase the price in the country. Okay, like suppose the government was banned imports. Suppose the government taken policy that government was cut imports. Okay, government was stopped imports from other countries. What will happen automatically? That supply will decrease. We are not able to produce, that's why actually we are importing from other countries. Now what happened? Because of the some problem, the government may ban import from other countries. Okay, automatically the supply will decrease in our country. There may be some problem, there may be some technical problem. For example, suppose there is no good relation with Gulf countries with India, for example. What will happen automatically? If our India is not maintaining good relation with Gulf countries, that countries may not be exporting oil to our country. If that country is not exporting oil, automatically imports will decrease. Government may ban sometime. Because of the international issue, imports may be decreased. So whatever the may be reason, if the imports decrease. So if the imports decrease, automatically the goods supply will decrease in our country. So if the supply will decrease, automatically what will happen? So the prices will increase in our country. Okay, like this, many reasons we can say for this one. At the same time, for example, natural resource. Okay, natural resources are scarcity. We can say that lack of natural resource. Okay, if the natural resources are not available in the country, no production in the country. No production means no supply means more prices. So the lack of this natural resources also one of the reasons may be for the inflation in the country. Okay, like skilled labor scarcity. Skilled labor, no skilled labor means less production automatically, we can know. Less production, less supply, more prices we can say. Okay, that is skilled labor. Like lack of investment in the country. Okay, lack of investment. Why lack of investment? There may be lack of saving. Since no saving among the people, no investment. If no investment, no industries. No industries, no production. That is also one of the maybe reason. Like lack of entrepreneurship. Okay, lack of entrepreneurship. The organizations may not be effective. There was one study. Conducted by Japan and Germany, the both countries jointly. So according to their study, they studied about the planning system, and also they studied about the entrepreneurship, that is organization. Okay, when they studied, in their conclusion, they told about India like this. So in the European countries, if the people are having $1 currency with them, they will think that how many dollars we have to earn from this dollar. Okay, but whereas Indians, that is our people, they will think that if the people are having money with themselves, the Indians will think that how to spend this money. I think you may got the point. ఐరోపా వాళ్ళేమో $1 ఉంటే దాంతో ఎన్ని డాలర్లు సంపాదించాలని ఆలోచిస్తారు. ఇండియన్స్ ఏమో ₹1 ఉంటే దీన్ని ఎలా ఖర్చు పెట్టాలని ఆలోచిస్తారు. That means always you are thinking from the expenditure side. Our people, most of our people, they are thinking from the expenditure side. So that means they are not converting into investment. That is what I am saying here. Okay, that is what I told you, what they observed about our country. So like that, so in our country, the most of the people, they, even though they have the money, they are not ready to investment money. They are not ready for investment. So due to this is called a lack of entrepreneurship, because their fear is that if we investment money, what will happen? There may be if we will get the loss, so then we are going to lose our money. So because of that negative thinking, our people are not going for the investment. So like this, all these are the reasons for the supply side causes for the inflation, which is called supply push inflation, or supply side causes for the inflation, or cost push inflation. Okay, so all these are maybe the reason for the inflation. So these reasons were known as the, I told you, the causes for the inflation from the two sides. One is the demand side and another is supply side. Both I told you. Okay, please try to remember this point. Okay, causes for the inflation. Okay, in the same way, okay, whenever we are talking about this concept, inflation, here there are some particular points we have to understand that what is known as the stagflation. Okay, stagflation. What is known as stagflation? So this point, if you divide this word into two words, one is stagnation. Okay, one is stagnation, and another one is we can say inflation. Stagflation, nothing but, here we can see two important words. One is stagnation and another one is inflation. Okay, here stagnation, nothing but economic activities are not moving progressively. Okay, the economic activities are stagnated. Otherwise, the economic activities are decreasing. We can say that economic activities are decreasing. Unemployment is increasing. Okay? Demand is decreasing. Production is decreasing. That is particularly. So, particularly the unemployment, stagnation, nothing but unemployment. Unemployment will increase. This is called economic activities are decreasing. Present situation. Present we have stagnate. What is happening in the country? There is a inflation. That is one side the prices are increasing in the country and another side unemployment is increasing in the country. The economic activities are not moving. There may be negative growth rate in the country. Okay, that type of the concept we can see, okay, in case of this stagflation. Okay, this concept, stagflation, okay, it is going to refer to an economy that is experiencing a simultaneous increase in inflation one side and stagnation of the economic activities are one side. That is, output is stagnating, the production is stagnating, the unemployment is increasing. There may be negative growth rate in the country. Okay, one side prices are increasing, another side unemployment is increasing, the production may be decreasing. Okay, this the concept of the stagflation, the first time the word was used in the UK during the 1960s. Okay, during the 1960s, that word, what is that word? Called stagflation concept was used. So in 1960s, there one side there is a more inflation, the prices are increasing, and another side production was output was stagnated, and unemployment was increased. The remaining activities were started the decreases. That is the situation was found in 1960s in the UK, United Kingdom, that is Britain. So that's why from there onwards the concept was used in the name of the what is called stagflation. Okay, stagflation. So after 1970, it became a more popular. Even though this concept was first time observed in 1960s in the UK, United Kingdom, this concept was popular after 1970s when there was this type of problem was happened in America during the 1973-74 USA. So then onwards, this concept became more popular. The concept of the stagflation became a very more popular when it was observed in the USA in 1973 and 74. Okay, in USA, the prices are increased in the double digit. During that time, the inflation was in the double digit. Prices were increased in double digit. And at the same time, the GDP growth was in the negative. GDP growth rate was in the negative. So, in the USA, inflation rate was in the double digit. What is called in the double digit? At the same time, GDP growth was in negative. At the same time, the unemployment rate was 9% during that time. Unemployment rate was increased like anything, it was 9%. The same thing we can see today in our country. Okay, not only now, in 1977, 78 and 1978, 79, during that time, there was a Janata government was there in the country. Morarji Desai was Prime Minister in our country. Okay, during that time, the GDP growth rate was in the negative. Only 2 times negative growth rate was there in our country. One is at the time of 1978 and another is present. One is at the time of the what is called Morarji Desai and another is our great leader Narendra Modi. Okay, during these 2 periods there was a negative growth rate in our country. Okay, negative growth rate was there in our country. That is GDP growth rate was there in the negative 1977 or 78 and in 2019-20 and in 2020-21 also we can see that GDP growth rate was in the negative growth rate. At the same time, during these two times, unemployment rate also more. Inflation also more inflation rate during these 2 periods in our country. Unemployment rate was more and negative growth rate. So this concept we can say that stagflation. Okay, stagflation, what we can say? This is the concept of the stagflation. So during the stagflation we can see 3 features. One is output will be in the negative. Output nothing but GDP. GDP will be in the negative. The second one, inflation rate will be more. And the third point is unemployment rate also more. Okay, this concept were observed in the UK in 1960s and it was observed in 1973-74 in the USA. The same features were observed in our country during 1977, 78 and 78, 79 and during now also 1920 and 2021. So in these periods we observed this concept called what is known as the this stagflation concept. Okay, that is what is called stagflation. Here, one more important thing is that inflationary gap. Okay, inflationary gap. This is one concept. Actually, this concept was developed by J.M. Keynes. Okay, you may know about the J.M. Keynes, one of the famous economists from England. He was called father of modern economics. Was also called father of macroeconomics. So he was the person who wrote one important book in 1936 called General Theory of Employment and Interest and Money, popularly known as General Theory. Okay, according to this person, the inflationary gap, because of the inflationary gap, there will be inflation in the country. So if you want to know, if you don't want inflation, this gap should be decreased. If no gap, no inflation. If the gap increases, inflation increases. If the gap decreases, inflation also going to be decreases. That is what? Okay. Then what is inflationary gap? Nothing but the differences between aggregate demand and aggregate supply. The differences between aggregate demand and aggregate supply. This is known as the what is called inflationary gap. As long as there is a gap between these two, there will be inflation in the country. If there will be less gap in between these two, there will be less inflation in the country. More gap, more inflation. Less gap, less inflation. No gap, no inflation. So that is what he told. Okay, here, aggregate demand. What is aggregate demand? Aggregate demand nothing but the amount which is spending to purchase goods and services. That is called aggregate demand. Aggregate supply means the goods which are ready to sell in the market. For example, I may be discussed in the last class. People are purchasing 1500 commodities. That is aggregate demand in the market. But only 1300 goods are available in the country for the selling. That is supply. So the differences between these two is known as the what is called 200. People are purchasing 1500 goods, but only suppliers are having only 1300 goods. Then automatically what the suppliers will do, what the sellers will do, definitely they will hike, they will try to hike the increase the prices, no doubt at all. Okay, that's why the prices may increase. Okay, suppose the people are purchasing 1500 goods, the supply is 1400 commodities, price will increase, but it will increase with the decreasing rate. Definitely price will increase with the decreasing rate. That is, inflation will be decreased. Inflation will be controlled, I may told in the first initial already. Okay, that is. Suppose if the people are ready to purchase 1500 goods, but the supply is only 1100 goods. What happened here? The gap is increased. When the gap is increased, automatically the prices will increase by the supplier. That is, supply will increase, the prices will increase, then automatically, so the inflation is going to be decreases in that. So this is the things what will happen. That's why he suggested. Who suggested? J.M. Keynes. Okay, J.M. Keynes is one person, and also one more person called Professor Professor Kumarappa also suggested about this inflationary gap. So to control the inflation, always we have to reduce this gap. To reduce the gap, what we have to do again? Again we have to control the aggregate demand. We have to decrease the aggregate demand by increase the aggregate supply. We have to increase aggregate supply, that's all. Okay, if the aggregate supply will increase by decreasing this aggregate demand, automatically the gap will come down. The gap will be decreased. If the gap will decrease, automatically the prices will be controlled. The inflation will be controlled, what we can say. So this is what we can observe whenever we are talking about this particular inflation. Okay, inflation. During the inflation, producer or seller, he may get benefit. Producer, seller will get benefit because the prices increases. If the prices increases, automatically their profit also will increase. So that's why they will think that what is called they are going to get the benefit. But at the same time, what about the consumer? Consumer, he can also known as a buyer. Okay, the buyer or consumer is having the negative impact on the inflation. If the prices are increasing, their purchasing power will decrease. They are going to lose more money to purchase the commodities. Okay, for example, take for example mango or some other commodity. 1 kilo mango, for example 50 rupees. So he is purchasing 2 kgs. So into 50 rupees, that means how much amount he is spending? 100 rupees to purchase 2 kgs. Now the kilo mango was increased from 50 rupees to 60. Then what will happen to purchase same 2 kgs? Now he has to spend 120 rupees. So because of this inflation, he is going to lose 20 rupees. So that's why the buyer is going to lose the money in the market. That's why the consumer will have the negative impact on this particular persons. Okay, on this particular occasion. Okay, that is what we can say. So, but suppose there are brokers. Okay, maybe they may be known as the mediators. Okay, mediators. Or we can say intermediaries. In our language, you can say commission agent. Okay, commission agents. So all these people, what will happen? They will have the negative impact. Sorry, I'm very sorry. They are going to get more benefit. So because whenever the prices are increasing, these mediators, they will go for they will purchase the commodities from the producers and they will hold in the black market. After the increasing the price, they will sell in the market. That's why they will get the benefit. So then if there is an inflation, you tell me, what about the shareholders? They will have the positive impact or the negative impact? Tell me. What about the shareholders? Shareholders means the persons who are invested money in the share market. Okay, that person is known as a shareholder. Inflation, nothing but that bond share value also increases. Share prices also increases. That means the shareholders, their share value increase. Automatically they will get the benefit. Okay, they will have the positive impact on their work. So that's why the shareholders, they will have the positive impact during the inflation, what we can say. Okay, shareholders, like, so in this way, the poor people, they may have the problem. Why they have the problem for the poor people? Because the prices are increasing, but the income will not increase to the poor people. So they have the less income, low level of the income. Their income may not be increased. If the income not increases, due to increase the inflation, they are not able to purchase the goods to satisfy their desires. This type of the problems we can see. Okay? So that is what we are going to discuss about this issue. The poor people, even employees also, okay, they have the negative impact. That is, they have the problem. Why? Actually, whenever there is inflation, actually salaries also will increase to the employees in general. But salaries will increase with less rate, whereas the inflation will increase more. For example, inflation increases 10%, salaries maybe increases around 5%. Salaries maybe increases with 5%. So here, the inflation, the salaries are not increasing, which is equal to inflation. That's why the people are not able to, the employees are not having the benefit if there is a inflation in the economy. Okay, that is what we can see about this particular aspect. Here, the finally, what is called producers, that is industries, they will have the benefit. That's why always they want inflation. but the consumers don't want the inflation. Okay, consumers don't want the inflation. So that's why sometimes what the government will do, here what I told you, 2 points I told you. For example, I am producer, you are the consumer. Take for example, I want inflation but you don't want inflation. Okay, I want inflation, you don't want inflation. As a consumer, you don't want inflation. But as a producer, I want inflation. I want to increase the price. Why? Because if I will increase the price, my profit also will increase. That's why as a producer, always I will try to, I want more inflation. So that's why here, sometimes the government, what will do know? To encourage the producers. Okay, to encourage the producers, the government itself will encourage the inflation sometimes. See, if there is a inflation, producer will be encouraged. If he will be encouraged, he will increase investment. Then production will increase. Employment will be generated, like all these activities will come down in the economy. Will be there in the economy. So that's why the government sometimes will encourage the inflation in the country. That is the point of what we can say. Okay, but at the same time, in the particular, the consumer, they don't want inflation. That's why, for the welfare of the consumer, the government will give subsidy. Government will give subsidy. So, by giving the subsidies to the consumers, automatically the burden to the consumers will decrease. So, like that, one side the producers will be encouraged in the country, and the burden on the consumers will decrease by giving the subsidies. So, in this way, the government will take some policies. Government will go for the policies. That is what we can see. Sometimes, during the crisis particularly, today, there is a pandemic season. Why the government trying to encourage the producers? So, the government is trying to encourage the producers because yeah, the government want production. If the government want the production, the industrialist, the capitalist, the producers should be encouraged. So they will encourage when if the prices will increase for their product. So the government will encourage. So in this way, the government will think and take the policies actually. Okay, anyway, in the overall actually, we can say that that is not good for the economy, inflation. That's why it will try to control the inflation. To control the inflation, it will go for the monetary policy and fiscal policy. So that will be discussed later. So here, today, I will try to discuss related to this point one small concept which is called Phillips curve. Okay, Phillips curve. In 1958, okay, in 1958, the person belonged to England known as the A.W. Phillips was developed this theory. So that's why this will be known as the Phillips curve on his name. So according to this Phillips curve, there will be negative relation. Okay, negative relationship between unemployment rate and inflation rate. Unemployment rate and inflation rate. That means, okay, more unemployment rate, we can say that less inflation rate. That is called negative relation, no? Okay, if unemployment rate is less, then automatically inflation rate will increase. This is what A.W. Phillips observed and developed his theory. He developed his theory with diagrammatic explanation. Okay, diagrammatic explanation. So like His theory, according to AW, on the OX axis, he measured about the unemployment rate, UR unemployment rate. At the same time, on the OY axis, he measured the inflation rate. Inflation rate. According to Phillips, this is called Phillips curve. Okay, this is called Phillips curve. Okay, this is known as the what is called Phillips curve. For example, this is the unemployment rate in the country. This is the inflation rate in the country. If unemployment decreases, inflation rate will increase. Okay, unemployment decreases, inflation rate will increase. See, this is. Okay, on what ground you told? That suppose if unemployment rate is more in the country, if there is a more unemployment rate in the country, what about that salaries? Salaries will be less or more? What about the salaries? It will be less or more? Okay, so salaries are less. Salaries are less. If the salaries are less, the production cost may be low. If the production cost may be low, automatically the price of the commodity will be low. Price of the commodity low, nothing but less inflation. Okay, less inflation. That's why more unemployment rate, less inflation rate. Suppose if no unemployment rate in the country, that is less unemployment rate in the country, no unemployment in the country. If no unemployment rate, the salaries will be more. Definitely the people will demand more salaries if there is no unemployment in the country. Okay, whenever there is no unemployment, the employees will demand to increase the salaries will increase. If the salaries will increase, automatically the production cost will increase. The production cost will increase, automatically cost push inflation will increase. That is, inflation will increase. So, that's why what he suggested, what A.W. Phillips suggested that, okay, if we want inflationary, okay, inflationary less economy, okay, if you want inflationary less economy in the country, so he suggested that there should be more unemployment rate in the country. That is he suggested. Okay, whenever, as long as there is unemployment in the country, wages will not increase. If the wages will not increase, automatically there will be less unemployment rate, less inflation rate. If less unemployment rate, more growth, more development will be there in the future. That is what he suggested. But this is not accepted by many people. Milton Friedman, he suggested that this problem maybe we can observe in a short-run period, but long run it is not good. Today, see, for example, India, you see example India. There is a more unemployment rate in the country, more inflation rate in the country. Can Phillips curve is applicable now? No, the Phillips curve is not at all applicable here. So that's why in this way we have this Phillips curve always may not be applicable to the society what he suggested.